Hi everyone, this is just a 10 to 15 minute video of my go-to stretches post-workout. You can do this straight away afterwards if you've got the time, perhaps later on in the evening or even in the morning the day after. It should really help you maintain your performance, aid recovery, and it'll also just help you prevent injury. So the first thing I'd go for is a side stretch. I normally do this standing, but actually for the sake of you being able to see me, raise the arms, clasp the hands, and reach over to one side, trying to keep the sit bones, our bottom, still grounded onto the heels. Inhale back to centre, over to the right. Another alternative, if you feel off balance, you can just take one hand down to the floor, reach over, trying to keep the armpit up towards the ceiling still so the chest's not collapsing in. But you can play around with where you feel most of your stretch. Everyone's bodies are slightly different. And then over to the other side. Again, playing around. And then we come back to centre. So the next one, we come to downward dog. Hands shoulder width, toes tuck under, and we push the hips up and back. Feet are hip width. You can soften the knees. Your heels may not necessarily come down to the floor. You can walk out through the feet. We call this pedaling. Gaze just back between the legs, or you can hold this, pressing away from the floor, lengthening the spine here, and also stretching down through the back of your legs, calves, hamstrings. And then from here, we drop to our knees, and then we lower to our chest. So coming to a cobra, hands underneath shoulders, bottom relaxed, tops of the feet to the floor, gaze just to the floor. We inhale and press into the hands just to support us, elbows squeezing in. So you should feel this through the middle of the back. If you're feeling it through the lower back, ease slightly lower, keep the head extending forward. A few breaths here. Exhale, release. Inhale. We can repeat, or if you want to come a little bit further into the back bend, take the hands back towards the ribs and we pull ourselves through to an upward dog. Softening the elbows, keeping the bottom relaxed again. And then engaging core, come over knees, toes, and we push back once more, downward dog. From here now we rise onto the toes. You can step that right foot forward. If the foot gets stuck, you can hook the arm underneath and help it through. Hands to either side of the front foot and just extend the chest forward to a high lunge. Breathing there. Pushing out through the back heel, engaging the back thigh. And then we carry out what we do lizard. So we toe heel that foot out towards the edge of the mat. The hands come to the inside of that front foot. Slide the toes back and extend your chest forward again. Breathing there. We hold for a few breaths. If it's too much with the back knee lifted, release the knee, especially after you've done a quite intense workout. That can be quite a strong stretch, so you can just drop the knee. If you want to work deeper into the hips, you can slide the hands forward, maybe begin to soften the elbows. Really extend your head forward, try not to round through the back. And then we come back up. Bring that foot back to centre, back knee lifts, and we step back. Walking the hands back now, and release. And we'll come to the other side, I'll repeat so you can see. Back to our downward dog, neck nice and long. We'll step the left foot forward this time, coming into our high lunge again. Slide those toes back, fingertips either side of the front foot, and we extend the chest forward. So you can stay in these poses as long as you need. So I'm just running through this to keep the video fairly succinct and short for you, but you can take your time. As you get more familiar with the poses, you might want to do one longer than some of the others. So we toe heel that left foot out this time, hands come to the inside of the left foot, slide those toes back, really extend the chest, and as I said before, you can release the knee if it's too strong. We want this to be a recovery session, so nothing too hard here. Again, walking the hands forward, maybe softening through the elbows. They may come all the way down. If they do, really focus on extending the head forward. Back, nice and flat. And then we walk back up onto the hands. Lift the back knee, step forward, and we'll come to stand. So stepping out to the side. Just a side lunge now, just to stretch the hip flexors and the adductors inside our thighs a little. Hands can rest on our legs and we just extend to one side, really keeping a nice flat back. You should feel it all through the inside of the thigh there. Swapping over from one side to the other. If you want to work more deeply, you may be able to bring your hands down. Again, extending chest forward. And then over to the other side. And back to centre, hands can walk up the legs. So last pose, we pivot, we bring the left foot a little bit closer, so it's about 3 foot distance apart. The back foot is usually about 10 to the hour on the left foot, or 2 minutes past, sorry, not 2 minutes, 10 past on the right foot. Hands to hips now, we inhale, we exhale, we fold. Hands can walk down that right shin, or the front leg I should say. Extend the head forward and then fold. So don't worry where you are, how deeply you are into the pose. You may just be here and that's absolutely fine, as long as you feel it down the back of the right leg. And we walk our hands back up. We can pivot on the feet and do the other side. I'll face this way so you can see what it looks like on the left leg. So hands to hips, we try and square the hips, nice 3 foot stance, nothing too long, otherwise you're balancing, it makes it much trickier. We inhale, stand tall, exhale, fold, hands can walk down the legs. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, you can fold. Hands can slide down, or keeping lifted. Shoulders relaxed, and just breathing here. Walking the hands back up now. We step it forward. Now we come back down to the mat. So this is called our figure of 4. So it really starts to work into your glutes. Come to lay down. We take, so in this case, the right ankle across left thigh. The bone is just off the thigh. We flex the foot back towards the shin. Your head relaxes back. And on an inhale, you draw that left thigh in towards you. Hands come through. Take the back of the left leg as first variation. Second variation, you can take the shin. So keeping that foot nice and active, flexing back, you breathe here. So as you draw that thigh in towards your chest, at the same time you want to pressure lower back down to mat. So we don't want to see too much of this. The body is immediately trying to make it easier. So see if you can press the lower back down whilst you draw that thigh in. Breathing there. If you need more of a challenge, you can use that right elbow to push the right thigh slightly and knee slightly forward as you draw that leg in. Releasing that. We'll swap to the other side, so I'll show you so you can see from the open view. That foot comes just off the thigh. We draw the right leg in. Hands come through, so again, behind the thigh or over the shin, drawing that thigh in. Using the breath. So when we have tension, we tend to hold our breath. Then if we're holding our breath, we can't relax. So we need to focus on particularly the exhale to try and release any tension, and it'll allow you to just deepen into the posture a little more. Releasing out. So I'd say 5 to 10 breaths would be ideal in all of the postures. So our penultimate pose, bridge. So again, to open up the chest, we draw the feet in towards our hips, in line with the hips. Gaze up towards the ceiling, keeping the neck nice and still. The tailbone starts to tuck under. We draw back through our abdominals and pull up on our pelvic floor. And press into the feet, engage the thighs as we lift into our bridge. So you may stay here, supported by your hands. If you feel you have a little bit more space, we start to shuffle the shoulders under. The hands may be able to clasp and join. And we press into the little finger to open up through the front of our body. Breathing here. To release out, release the hands, release the shoulders, release the spine, vertebrae at a time. Then we draw our knees into our chest. And then our last pose, extend the legs away, just give them a shake out. Draw the left thigh into your chest, we're coming into a twist. Then from here, we're taking the knee across the body towards the right. We shuffle the hips back just slightly towards the left-hand side of the mat. And then we open the arms into a T position as we breathe into our twist. Gaze can go over to the left hand on the left side. You can use your hands to support you to release back to center. Reposition. Extend the left leg, draw the right knee in, and then we come to the opposite side. So the right knee goes over to the left. You'll be able to see the hip shuffle. So I'm not even here. Move the hips slightly back towards the right. Take the arms nice and wide. Gaze can come over the right hand. So not worrying too much about working into the deepest twist here. We just want to feel an opening through the back of the upper body, through the chest. Breathing there now, a few more breaths. And then using hands to support you, release to center, extend the legs, draw the knees into your chest, and we come to one last pose, happy baby. So the first variation is the arms can go around the back of the knees, hands clasp. And we just draw the knees into the chest. If you want to work a little deeper, the hands come to the outside edges of the feet, and we draw the knees down towards armpits. And then we release. We are done. So that's us for our post-workout stretch. If you want to take longer in any of the poses, please do. As I said, 5 to 10 breaths between each exercise would be ideal. And that's 5 to 10 yogic breaths, so quite nice and slow. Thanks very much.